Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, guys, we are doing our first Valentine's Day inspired video. And in today's video, we're going to be featuring a brand new palette from Rouge Labs. They sent over a beautiful palette over my way, along with some lippies, and I get to talk to you guys all about the history of Valentines, what I feel about Valentines, and just honestly munch on some goodies. So if you guys want to see all this, well then definitely keep on watching. Alright guys, so if you guys are new here, a couple months ago, I actually reviewed the Rouge Labs Halloween For You eyeshadow palette, which is a Halloween themed eyeshadow palette. And in that review, I told you guys all about the history of Halloween, from how it went from a pagan holiday all the way to a very commercialized holiday. And I had so much fun playing with this palette. It is such a gorgeous palette and it screams Halloween. And plus it was fun for me to do research and tell you guys all about the history of Halloween. Well, the company saw it and they really liked my video, really liked what I said and how I did research. And so they reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to try out their new Valentine's Day collection. And I was like, does this mean I get to hate on Valentine's Day, tell you guys all about the history of Valentine's Day, snack on some goodies, and tell you guys about the bloody massacre that occurred on Valentine's Day? Well then sign me up, because I am all about telling you guys the history of stuff. So first off, I have not opened this up yet because I wanted to do this with you guys, because first off, the packaging is so cute. Marianne, who's the owner of Rouge Labs, sent me a beautiful card to go with it, sent me the palette and some lippies, and I'm just so excited to play around, dive into this. This is a brand new eyeshadow palette called Prelude to Agony, and if that does not just like scream Valentine's Day, I don't know what, because Valentine's Day is that holiday that either you really love or you really hate. And I'll tell you guys my standpoint on it by the end of this video. But before we dive into all that, let's go ahead and look at the goodies that we have here. So first things first, I love how this is wrapped up and packaged. It is just so freaking beautiful. I don't want to rip it open because I don't want to ruin it, but let's look at this right here. So here we have Rouge Labs Prelude to Agony. Guys, look at how beautiful this packaging is. I love the deep, dark depth of this. I love that it's like a gothic vibe palette. Like my high school self is like, like just screaming for joy, because you guys don't know. Maybe one day I'll show you guys photos. I never wore trip pants, but I really was like, it was like dark and twisted. I feel like everybody at one point in life has gone through that phase. But this just like screams to like my early 9th grade, 8th grade self. I really love how the packaging looks. On the back, it says there's no pain like that of desire. Prelude to Agony, 1992. It says it's formulated without parabens, mineral oil, phthalates, trisoxan, sodium sulfite, and gluten, and it is cruelty free. And also, everything's really cool is that they do give credit to where the artwork was designed from. And then when you guys open it up, bitch, guys, I really love how she does this. So you have the packaging right here, and then you open it up. It's just two different packaging. It's two different designs. I freaking love that. They did the same thing for the Halloween For You. I love the theme right here, like Dracula's Castle, the full moon, the lightning. Open up, it's a full moon with a graveyard. Like, I love how they do that. They're so freaking cute. And then you look at this, like, oh, beautiful. And then when you open it up, we do have the Prelude to Agony. This is a Valentine's Day inspired palette. Now you're probably thinking the typical Valentine's Day, bright pinks, purples, reds. Well, she wanted to kind of go more the darker, gothier side of Valentine's Day, because not everybody's happy on Valentine's Day. Actually, fun fact, a lot of people are miserable on Valentine's Day. That's a pretty depressing holiday for most. Sorry. But here we have the shades right here. You do have different names in here, which I'll go ahead and swatch and go over all the names. So I do want to tell you guys just a little bit about the palette. So it says Prelude to Agony. It's a Valentine's Day palette that's goth makeup, goth gifts, spooky makeup, gifts for all, alternative, grudge, divine, tragedy, and it retails for $34.99, and you do get 9 shadows in here. Nice big size shadows as well. Now, not only were they kind enough to send me this, but they also included some Immortal Lippies to go with it. I love the name, Immortal Lippies. This kind of reminds me of like My Chemical Romance, like font right here. It brings me some flashback. So the shades that she sent over are Requiem. I'm gonna butcher them, Marianne. I'm so sorry. Requiem, Lament and Haven. If I butcher those, I do apologize. But these Immortal Mattes do retail for $12 a piece. So we have 3 shades right here, which I will obviously swatches for you. Ooh, we got a nice little pinky shade. Love that. We got a little... Guys, I don't have a purple shade. That is exciting. I really want to play around with some purples, like mix some purples and blacks together. Oh my God, that'd be so pretty. And then we have a brighter purple. Oh, this would be so much fun, creating a beautiful like Valentine's Day inspired look. That is so exciting. Okay, now before we dive into all this, I just want to say it would not be a typical Allie video if I didn't have some sort of theming to go along with it. When you guys saw my Halloween video, you guys saw my backdrop decorated as Halloween. You guys know it's my favorite holiday. So I do have some stuff to, you know, celebrate Valentine's Day. We do have the infamous sweetheart candies, because you can't have a Valentine's Day without these delicious crack candy. We all know that it's crack candy. I do have a little rose, you know, because do you accept this rose, guys? You know, we do have a little chocolate rose. I made sure we got the little 2 little cute little bears with little kisses. Aww. And then we also have the box of assorted chocolates. Now, fun fact, I hate, like with a pure passion, box of assorted chocolates. I cannot stand it. I think because they have like those cherry flavored ones, those orange ones, the ones with like a pink stuffing in the middle. Oh my God, it just drives me freaking crazy. I can't stand it. I never eat those boxes. And Corey used to get them for me when we first started dating, and I'd be like, don't waste your money. Just like, it's such a sweet gesture, but I would never eat it and he would eat it. So I saw this, and on the back, it's just chocolate almond truffle, chocolate hazelnut, dark chocolate with cacao nib truffle, and milk chocolate with caramel truffle. And I'm like, okay, I can kind of get into this. So with that said, guys, I'm going to swatch these colors, and then we're going to dive deep into the history of Valentine's Day, why it's not exactly what you think it is, and how there was a bloody massacre that took place on this very day. So let me go ahead and swatch these for you guys. Now, the first shade we have here is called Sacred. Now, I actually find this to be a very, very fitting name. After doing some research and finding out what the Romans used to do to women back in the day, it's a very sacred ritual. So I thought that was a very, very perfect name. So beautiful, bright yellow. Then we have this splatour. I don't know what it's called, but it's kind of like a gray brown. Then we do have this beautiful Paramore shade, this beautiful pinky Paramore. And yes, I'm going to play with this shade today, followed by Euphoric. Oh, that is such a beautiful pink, such a beautiful pink. Then we have Absolution, this beautiful Eternal, Immolation. If I butcher these names, I do apologize. I'm not the best. Then we have the shade Morning and Laurel right here. Now, again, this might not scream the typical Valentine's Day palette for you, but I can see the reasons why you have some colors in here, because not everybody loves Valentine's Day. You're going to have the sad side where you're mourning and tears and being very upset. You're going to have some bright sunny sides. You're going to have the pink sides. You're going to have the golds that represent exchanging of a luxurious gifts. Like, I get the whole meaning behind it, and I thoroughly stand behind it. So let me swatch the liquid lips, and we're gonna dive right on in. Okay, so the very first shade right here, we have Haven right here, which is beautiful. It's actually darker pink than what I originally thought. Very beautiful. I'm actually really, really wanting to play around with this shade right here. This is called Requiem. I think I might be saying that wrong, but it is a beautiful purple. It's probably gonna look really good next to this color right here. And this color right here is gonna be called Lament right here. Guys, I have to say, the smell on these, oh my God, it smells like a very sweet vanilla cookie or like a vanilla cupcake. Oh my God. With like a buttercream frosting. It smells so freaking deakin' good. So, and now they're getting me hungry because I have all these sweets sitting in front of me and I just want to play with them. So let me go ahead and get you guys zoomed in, and we're just gonna go ahead and start telling you guys the history of Valentine's Day. But first, we're gonna go to TTYL. I don't know why that's so fun. Talk to you later, guys. All right, guys, so Valentine's Day occurs every February 14th across the United States and other places around the world. During this holiday, everybody exchanges candies, flowers, and gifts are exchanged between loved ones, all in the name of Saint Valentine. But who is Saint Valentine and why is he cherished? Well, it's actually a fun fact, guys, but Saint Valentine's Day, like history or who Saint Valentine is actually shrouded in mystery. So it says that the Catholic Church actually recognizes 3 different saints named Valentine or Valentinus, all of who were martyred. All right, so the first shade we're gonna go into is this shade Eternal right here. All right, so who are these 3 different Valentines? So one legend contends that Saint Valentine was a priest, and he served during the 3rd century in Rome. Well, the emperor at the time was Claudius II, and he believed that young men better served his military than those who were married or had children. So according to legend, Saint Valentine's actually secretly married young couples in private and tried to keep it a secret until one day he was actually caught by Claudius II and was beheaded and murdered for trying to allow young lovers to be together. This is laying down really beautifully, by the way. Very, very pigmented, very beautiful. However, other legends actually state that it was another one from Trini, who was a bishop, and he is the true namesake of the holiday. But at the end of the day, both of those Valentines were beheaded by Claudius II for trying to help young loves be together. Other stories suggest that Valentine may have been killed for helping the Christians escape the harsh prisons of the Romans, where they were tortured, beaten to death, and that was why he was marked as a saint, because he tried to help all the Christians escape the harsh Roman prisons. It says, according to one legend, the imprisoned Valentine actually sent his first greeting to his love, and he signed it from your Valentine, and that's a phrase that is still used to this very day. Then I'm going to take this shade Euphoric right here, and we're going to start to buff that out together. Oh, how fitting, I'm going with Paige's brushes right here. The truth behind Valentine's legend is actually rather murky. All the stories emphasize, though, that his appeal as a sympathetic and heroic, most importantly as a romantic figure. Really, really pretty color. By the Middle Ages, Valentine was considered the most popular saint all throughout England and France. Some believe that Valentine's Day is celebrated in the middle of February to commemorate the anniversary of Valentine's death or burial, which probably occurred around AD 270. Others claim that the Christian church may have decided to place St. Valentine's Day feast in the middle of February in an effort to Christianize the pagan celebration of Lupercalia, which is actually celebrated in the middle of February, or most likely around February 15th. Lupercalia was a fertile festival dedicated to Faunus, which was the Roman god of agriculture, as well as the Roman founders Romulus and Remus during that time as well. So to begin the festivities, and this is where I thought was like the most interesting, but to begin the festivities, members of the Luperci and an order of the Roman priest would gather at a secret cave where the infants of Romulus and Remus were said to have been placed by a she-wolf or a lupa. The priest would then sacrifice a goat for fertility and a dog for purification. And I'm like, oh my God, these poor freaking animals. But they would sacrifice them, and then what's really crazy is they would cut up the goat, dip it in sacrificial blood, and take that goat hide and go throughout the streets and gently slap women with the goat hide and all their crop fields, because they believed that by slapping the women in their crop fields with the goat hide, it would actually enhance fertility and enhance growth in crops. So that's what they did this every single year around February 14th, February 15th. They would go around and just slap bloody goat skins on people, like a sacred ceremonial act, and all the women welcomed it. They loved getting slapped by goat hides because they're like, yes, bring on that baby. I'm like, ew, like, you're getting slapped with goat hide that's smeared in sacrificial blood? I don't know, it's very insane. But then later that day, according to legend, all the young women in the city would then place their names in a big urn, and that the city's bachelors would go up there, pick a name out of the urn, and they would spend a whole year together. And most of the couples who ended up getting matched that way actually ended up getting married. So that's like how they kind of like found their Valentine, was by placing their name in an urn and then picking it out and being like the Harry Potter scene.
Harry Potter! Harry Potter!
Come on, Harry. Harry, for goodness sake.
Harry, you put your name in a goblet of fire.
No, sir.
And that's kind of how they found their mate. Interesting, right? That is so freaking interesting. The Lupercalia celebration lasted up until the initial rise of Christianity, but then it was later outlawed. Because a Christian deemed it unchristianized. They ended up taking away the celebration, which is pretty much what the Christian and Catholic Church did to almost every single holiday. But by the end of the 5th century, Pope Gallius declared that February 14th was St. Valentine's Day. And it wasn't until much later on, though, that the day actually became associated with love. There's a little bit of fallout, but not too much, and not that much kick up in the pan, which I'm actually really impressed about. First recorded documentation of Valentine's Day, like what we know of today, was actually in 1375 by an English poet called Geoffrey Chaucer, who wrote the poem, The Parliament of Phallus, and he actually indicated in that poem the celebration of St. Valentine's Day, or otherwise known as All Loves Day. I'm going to take the shade Emulation. I think I'm saying it wrong, but this reminds me of the song that's in Star Wars, the 3rd soundtrack, Revenge of the Sith. There's a song called Emulation Scene. It's like when, spoiler alert, Anakin Skywalker burst into flames and like his whole body was kind of disintegrating before he turned into Darth Vader. That's kind of why he's in that suit. They kind of had to explain it, And Luke Skywalker said, "You're the chosen one. It was said you're supposed to destroy the Sith, not become one." And he's like, "I hate you." He goes, "I loved you, Anakin. You are my brother."
You were the chosen one! It was said that you would destroy the Sith, not join them!
Oh my god, I know that whole scene. That scene made me cry because I was in love with Hayden Christensen as a kid, and I've been, I know the whole scene. Okay, so we're going to start to lay this right here. Valentine's Day greeting cards go as far back as the Middle Ages, but didn't actually become a written form until the late 1400s. The oldest one that appeared still exists today, and it was appeared in a poem in 1415 by Charles, Duke of Orleans, where he wrote to his wife while he was in prison in the Tower of London. He actually wrote his first Valentine's Day greeting card, not like a love card, but like a happy Valentine's Day. It's the first recorded documentation of the written form of greeting, and they still have it actually displayed right now inside a museum in London, which I think is actually really cool. Whenever people think of Valentine's Day, they think of chocolates, flowers, candy, and they also think of Cupid. But how did Cupid often get portrayed as Valentine's Day cards? As a naked little chubby baby with an arrow. Well, fun fact, the Roman god Cupid has its roots in Greek mythology as the god of love, or Eros. And according to his birth, some say that he's the son of Nyx and Erebus, others say of Aphrodite and Ares. Still others suggest that he's the son of Iris and Zephyrus, or even Aphrodite and Zeus, which would have been kind of weird because that would have been his father and his grandfather at the same time, because Aphrodite is the goddess of love and she is the daughter of Zeus. But according to Greek poets, Eros was a handsome immortal that played with the emotions of God and men. He would use golden arrows to incite love and leaden ones to sorrow aversion. And it wasn't until the Hellenistic period that he began to be portrayed as mischievous, chubby little child that became known as the Cupid that they put on Valentine's Day card for, I guess, inciting love inside people. Valentine's Day is actually not celebrated throughout the entire world. It's only celebrated in the United States, Canada, Mexico, the United Kingdom, France, and Australia are the only places that actually recognize Valentine's Day. And in Great Britain was one of the first ones to actually populate the idea of St. Valentine's Day. Around the 17th century, became extremely popular. By the middle of the 18th century, it was very common. I'm going to go into the shade Paramour here to kind of mix it up. But by the middle of the 18th century, it was very common for friends and loved ones to actually exchange luxurious gifts during this sacred holiday, where they would give small tokens of love from affection, from candy, flowers, handwritten cards. And it wasn't until early 1900s, when printing technology have improved, they actually start going into a mass printing effect card instead of handwriting the cards. It says that Americans probably were the first ones to begin exchanging handmade Valentine's Day in the early 1700s, but in 1840, Esther A. Howland began selling the first mass-produced Valentine's Day cards because of the new printing technology. And it is estimated that 145 million cards are sent out each year in honor of St. Valentine's Day, which is the second largest holiday greeting card behind Christmas. Very, very crazy. But then you're going to sit here and ask yourself, but wait a minute, how does like chocolates, flowers, and like all these other stuff go into play? Well, in the Middle Ages, the knights actually used to give their maidens flowers before they left, and they used to sing love songs about them when they were from afar, about their beauty, about their love. And that's kind of how this whole like love started being associated with them. And then by the 1840s, the notion of Valentine's Day as a holiday to celebrate romantic love has taken over most of the English-speaking world. And the British Victorians adorned the notion of love and showered showered each other with elaborate gifts like cards and gifts. And during that time, Richard Cadbury actually started to improve his chocolate making technique where he was able to extract pure cocoa butter from whole beans and produce a richer tasting chocolate. He then recognized the great marketing opportunity that he had unfolded when he started making the better tasting chocolate and started to make these elaborate decorated boxes to start selling his chocolates in. Now, Cadbury was smart. He's actually started to market the boxes as like dual purposes. So whenever all the chocolate was eaten, the box itself was so pretty it could be used again and again to store mementos, from locks of hair to love letters, and the boxes grew increasingly elaborate until the outbreak of World War II, when sugar was rationed and Valentine's Day celebrations were scaled down. But Victorian era Cadbury boxes still exist, and many are treasured home heirlooms and valuable items prized by collectors. It's actually really, really pretty. These are blending out so nicely. Now, let me go ahead and take this off. All right, guys, I'm gonna come back with my lashes and my full face done, and we're gonna put some hearts on my face together. And I'll tell you guys all about the Valentine's Day massacre that took place in the early 1900s. It's still talked about to this day. All right, so I'm actually going into the Halloween palette because I want to mess with this purple minish shade right here to do underneath my waterline. But I want to tell you guys a little bit about the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. So the St. Valentine's Day Massacre was the 1929 murder of 7 members and associates of the Chicago North Side gang that occurred on St. Valentine's Day. The men were gathered in Lincoln Park garage in the morning of the February 14th, and they were all lined up against the wall and were shot by 4 unknown assailants who were all dressed like police officers. The incident resulted from the struggle for control of the organized crime in the city during the Prohibition between the Irish North Siders, headed by George Bugs Moran, and the Italian South Side gang rivals led by Al Capone. Perpetrators were never been conclusively identified, but 4 members of the Egan Rats gang working for Capone as suspected as a role as members of the Chicago Police Department who allegedly wanted revenge of killing police officer's son. But I guess it made huge headlines, and everybody knows of the Valentine's Day Massacre. There was even a movie. Now, I don't think the movie was actually based upon that. I think the movie actually was about men in some cave. But I remember there being a Valentine's Day Massacre movie. But yeah, it was 2 rival gangs that took place in 1929, and they disguised themselves as police officers during that time. And technology and the way that they identified murders back then was just so different. They didn't have DNA testing and stuff like that. So, but I definitely think it was really cool. It's something that people talk about to this day, the Valentine's Day Massacre. That's actually really pretty purple to kind of mix into this look. Oh, I'm actually really liking it because I know that some people really associate a Valentine's Day look with really bright pinky. I'm kind of going for the more grungy. I'm living for it. Now, I'm going to take a little bit of Jacqueline's High Volt shadow right here. And I want to take just a little bit of it, just very little, and we're going to dab it just right here in the center to give it just a tiny bit of extra shine. Bitch. Okay, now that is done, all right, we're gonna go right back into this Jacqueline Boat. We're gonna do the inner corners as well as the brow bone with this. So now that I told you guys the history of Valentine's, I can tell you guys my opinion on Valentine's Day. I absolutely hate Valentine's Day. I do not celebrate it. Corey and I do not celebrate it. I think we originally celebrated together maybe the first 2 to 3 years of being together, but as we've gotten older, we just kind of stopped celebrating it because we realized it really is just now a gimmicky holiday. It's just a great way for companies like Hallmark and all these candy companies to sell a shit ton of chocolate, a shit ton of cards, and I don't know, I feel the real meaning behind Valentine's Day kind of lost its meaning, sadly most holidays have when it gets really commercialized. But it's just something that me and Corey just never ever cared about. Because I remember back in elementary school, I don't even know if they still do this, and anyone who's a parent maybe can tell me this, but they used to make kids bring in those little pre-made to and from Valentine's Day card, and you used to have a little box, and you'd have to go and write everybody in your class one of those little gimmicky Valentine's Day cards. You guys know what I'm talking about? I remember having to do that, and you'd see how many Valentine's Day you got. Because I remember some years people wouldn't get any, and I remember going, oh my god, that's horrible. My parents always had me do it for every single person in the class, and I think as time went on, I think you have to do it for every single person in the class. But before, you used to see who was special to you, who wasn't, and then throughout middle school and high school, you see all these couples bring in what they love. Like all these couples bring in these huge like stuffed teddy bears. Like you have flower grams, chocolate grams. Like, oh my God. I remember being very, very alone during that time. I'm gonna go to Chocolate Splash palette. But I remember being very alone. I didn't have someone that did that for me back in high school, besides my friends. And yeah, I just found it to be a very, very gimmicky holiday. And I'm not really one that loves getting like chocolate or flowers. Like Corey knew if he was ever gonna get me like anything for Valentine's Day, he used to be really smart and he'd get me like books. He'd get me books I really wanted. He'd get me not candy, but he'd get me like my favorite snacks. Like he'd make me like a nice bath. And I know this is kind of like me coming as like a server, but a lot of people back in the day would go out to eat who are just people who normally don't go out to eat at fancy restaurants, and I would get really, really shitty tip on Valentine's Day. So it was just something that I was just like, ugh. I never cared for that holiday ever. Just because I find it very gimmicky. So I'd be celebrating it this year? No, I will not be celebrating it this year. It's just another day to me. I just don't care to celebrate it at all. In honor of the holiday, I did want to pick up some holiday treats to be like, hey, you know, because like the second that Christmas is over, they immediately start bringing out all the Valentine's Day stuff. So that's why I got like these little bears that will probably end up turning into like my dog's toys. And I got some chocolates so we can share chocolates together. All right, so I think it'd be really fun if we could take a little bit like these like little sweethearts, put some glue, like some lash glue on it, like on my face. I think it'd be kind of cool. I don't know. I think it'd be cool. I don't know if this is gonna look nice. Let me take that off. I don't know if that's gonna look nice. Ah, it's already like melting onto the skin. Okay, well, we'll think about that idea while this starts to dry down, but I do want to do my lips. So we're gonna go into this deeper burgundy color first, and we're gonna kind of like play around with it. But I really do enjoy this collection so far. I think it's such a really beautiful collection. Oh, bitch. I'm thoroughly impressed. One swipe went such a long way. Wow. And it's actually really, really comfortable on lips. Now, I can feel it on the lips for sure. I can feel it. It feels very hydrating. It definitely is drying down, but it feels very, very hydrating. It doesn't feel like it's going to become like a Sahara Desert where it's going to dry the crap out of my lips and make it like a crusty butthole. I think it's going to make it really enjoyable for me to kiss somebody with these lips. But we're not done because I want to like enhance it just a little bit. So hear me out. We're going to take this lighter purple shade. I don't know if this is going to work out, but we're going to have fun with it. And we're going to take it and just start to apply it a little bit in the middle, like so. This is more of like a Halloween-y purple. I feel like you can't really see too much with that. So then we're going to take this pink shade and we're going to apply it to the top as well to see if we can like enhance the way it looks. Because so far I think this is looking really, really nice. I just am not used to this color. All right, let me clean this up just a little bit, clean my teeth, and I'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, and this is the final look. So, what are my thoughts on this entire collection? First off, I have to say that I thoroughly love the packaging on this package. I think it's just so freaking cute. I love how the unit carton is one theme, and then the palette itself is a different theme. I think it's actually really nice. I do enjoy it. Now, did I create a typical like Valentine's Day look? I wouldn't say I did. I think I went more of like the gothic side. I really do think I went more of the gothic side, which is actually kind of what this company is about. They do like doing like the darker themed palettes, which I really love. Like I think it'd really cool if like every single holiday they had like a more of like a gothic vibe palette, because so many people love those colors. And I thoroughly enjoy this palette. I think it's really beautiful. The mattes are super pigmented and they blend out very nicely. The shimmers are absolutely gorgeous. I really love the first formula that I tried when I did the Howlin' For You palette, and it's the exact same formula. The only difference is there's no pressed glitter, which I really love because I really don't care for a lot of people's pressed glitters, but I really do love this palette. I think it's super cute, and I definitely think it's perfect in time for Valentine's Day, like especially this pink shade. Oh my god, that is such a beautiful pink shade, and it blended out really nicely. So I definitely recommend, if you guys are more like anti-Valentine's Day and not your vibe, definitely check out this brand, definitely check out this palette, and also check out this company as well. It is sold on Etsy, and it's run by Mary Ann, and they are so sweet. They're so kind, and I just really do love the vibes, the aesthetics, and I really do love this brand overall. You guys know how I feel about indie brands. Indie brands, I feel like, take such good care of their consumers. They got out their products really quickly, and they're just so freaking kind. So please check it out. As for the liquid lips, I really do like the little ombre effect that we have going on here from like a purple to pink. Do I have a crusty butthole? I do. I mean, some people enjoy that on Valentine's Day. Just saying. But I really do love the colors. Now, it is very, very comfortable on lips. You can tell that my lips are definitely dry. I mean, they are, but it's not like a Sahara Desert dry. It is very comfortable. I can feel it. There's a little buildup right here because I did use 3 different liquid lips, but I do think it's really beautiful. And they're only $12. They smell like freaking French vanilla cupcake. $12, absolutely amazing, and they have such cool, unique colors. So I'm definitely going on there and shop some colors for myself because I really do love the vibes and the aesthetic. And I just think that overall, this definitely gives me like a really anti-Valentine's Day look, like a grunge Valentine's Day look, which I'm all about. So please definitely check it out. I'm sorry that this little purple hearts, it didn't work. It just looked a little too funky. Like I did it with the candy corn, but the candy corn was able to work in a way that I think that this just doesn't necessarily work, doesn't go with the vibe. But I do have a little chocolate rose. Maybe I can mess around with this. I bought this stuff specifically for this video for Valentine's Day because, you know, I gotta treat myself sometimes, you know. But yeah, will you guys be my Valentine? But no, I really do enjoy this brand. Rebel Rouge Labs is so freaking cool. I love the aesthetics. I love everything about what they stand for. I love what they're theming with stuff. So please definitely check them out. This video is not sponsored or affiliated whatsoever. They did give this to me in PR. So Mary Ann and the team at Rebel Rouge Lounge, thank you so much for this beautiful palette, these wonderful lippies. I really love your brand. I cannot wait to see what you guys come up with next. And yeah, hopefully you guys like this video. Hope you guys like me telling you guys the history of Valentine's Day. Definitely a unique one, how they went from definitely a unique one, why they celebrate it and what they used to do as rituals compared to like Halloween. Now, Halloween was definitely a ever-evolving holiday. Valentine's Day evolved to a certain extent, but it was always been about love and cherishing each other and throwing each other gifts. And I know if people out there do love Valentine's Day, I'm not trying to rag on it whatsoever. I do promise you, like, I definitely support you behind that. I'm just never a big fan of Valentine's Day. I like to celebrate love every single day and not just one particular holiday. So yeah, hopefully you guys like this video. If you guys do, please make sure you guys give this video a cheeky thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you guys have not already, because I do post 3 to 4, mostly 5 times a week. Make sure you guys head over to my other channels, R for the Life. You guys get to see my cool, wonderful adventures, my amazing husband, Corey. And a huge thank you to all these beautiful Patreon members that you guys see right here. Thank you guys so much for allowing me to live my dream. I love each and every single one of you. And to you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Whether you guys like this video, thumbs down this video, subscribed, unsubscribed, didn't subscribe, either way, thank you so much for being here. I love and appreciate you. And yeah, guys, that's it. I love you, and I'll see you guys very next video. Bye. All right, so I'm gonna set my eye with my e.l.f. Eye Putty Primer. I really enjoy this, but so I really enjoy this. So in the state of chart, all of whom were martyred. So it says, oh my gosh. Now, what's really funny is that one legend contends that Valentine was a priest who served during the 3rd century in Rome, when Emperor Claudius II decided that according to one legend, now Mary Ann, who is the owner of Rebel Rouge, Valentine's Day occurs according to history, it says he outlawed marriage to young men. Well, Valentine, I guess, realized the injustice that this took. So Valentine realized that the injustice that this held, and decided to secretly marry couples. According to one legend, there a sacred ritual that took place on this very day. It says that the Catholic Church recognizes at least 3 different Saint Valentines. So it says that, oh my gosh. Saint Valentine of Trinity, which a bishop who was a true name. However, who Saint Valentine's Day or who Saint Valentine's, or according to research, it says the truth behind the mystery. So according to legend, even though the stories behind the real Valentine's Day is rather murky, all the stories that's depicted about Valentine's Day actually state that he is a sympath. Actually, Lupercalia was a Lupercalia. For those who don't know, Lupercalia. The truth behind Valentine's legend is so honestly,